Hello, all. Welcome back to another episode of Code Podcast series. I'm Shankar, founder of Code, and I'm going to be the host for this episode. We have many times discussed with different leaders from the GCC industry, got their perspective. But today we have an eminent personality with us, who is the CEO of KDEM, which is the torch-bearing industry for getting the Karnataka's digital innovation mission, for getting 300 billion of revenue out of the 1 trillion revenue digital opportunity for India, right? So welcome, Mr. Sanjeev, to our podcast.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Shankar. It's a pleasure to be with you today here.
Yeah.
And I look forward for our very engaged discussion today.
Definitely. So you very different profile about you is like after all the people of the bureaucrats whom I know, or at least even I have seen the public figures, they predominantly work only in a in a bureaucrat function. But you have a blend of and in the public service as well as you worked with companies like IBM, Accenture, and Microsoft. So how did it happen? Is it all you pre-planned, or did it happen by accident?
No, actually, there is something which is obviously I wanted to go for the government for a more of a larger societal impact work that we want to do. So I joined the government in 1998 and served them for a decade or so. But there is something which is in me which is called as curiosity. Uh, and the two important questions comes in always in my head is about what next and why not that. To answer these questions, wherever I am, I try to find answers in my next move. So while in the government, when I was looking at it, with God blessings, I was a topper of my batch in ISS. So I believe promotion will come to me naturally as number one if I perform very well. But still, the question was still having in my head is about curiosity and in terms of what next and why not that. And that made me took a call and say, I have done enough now in the governments. No, let me take a call and think about of corporate world, right? So normally people say curiosity kills the cat also, but fortunately curiosity has not killed me, and neither am the cat here. But I really believe that these two questions has been driving my energy towards my move. So joined for the larger cause. What next? Look at the other side. Why not? Why can't I serve the corporate world and see how it happens there? Moved, quit the service and joined the corporate world. Serve them in various roles, in various capacities, domestic business, leadership, strategies, worked in different roles and figured out how the corporate works. And then, I met, a long time back, Dr. Abdul Kalam ji, and he actually, inspired me to think back in terms of, hey, you have got experiences now. So what are you doing for the government now more? Especially talk about the public at large. And then it struck me in thinking, if that's the case, then I think I have to do something differently now. What next? And that what next brought me where I am today as the CEO for Karnataka Digital Economy Mission, which is to drive the digital economy of the state. So it's like a not-for-profit organization. Normally when we say not-for-profit, like an NGOs who is working for social impact, but this not-for-profit organization is for economic impact. Right?
Yeah.
And hence, I really like this platform where I can leverage the network of my leadership around with the people that I've worked so far, and also the experiences I brought in to see if I can contribute to the larger economic value to the state and to the country. And I think that's what we brought in here. So this is the what next and why not this is the important question pillars and answers that I look out for.
No, very interesting perspective, Sanjeev ji. Just to dive deeper into it,
Yeah.
what made the changes of working in the government, setup in the initial stages, and now, like now after working in the corporate, right? You would have different perspective on what changed from then to now.
Lovely question, Shankar. I think if I recall the way that I was operating in the government at a point of time, uh, I used to, I requested, I was not allowed to have a laptop.
Okay.
Laptop used to be given to very senior officers. So I requested my, senior officers to allow me to also have one laptop, and they finally agreed to give me. So I started using a laptop. So I put up my, normally at the point of time, the online files were not there. So the files used to come with bulky files and etc. on my table. I would look at those files and etc. So we started putting up a table at the back. And the And the front table that desk has to be empty with only the laptop. I want to work with the laptop. I want to make sure that all these files are lying behind, and I pick up one of my file and clear it out. So the outlook of mine was very different, leveraging technology most and most. In fact, at that point in time, I was posted in the one small incident I can share with you. I was posted in the subordinate statistical services cadre. It comprises of around 4,000 statistical officers across the country in across the levels. We were used to prepare a seniority list manually on the register of the officers, and then accordingly the promotion will happen, and the review committee will set up, and etc. So we want to do an online version of that. How do we online version of that? So you know what I did? I did the bought an MS Access book, MS Access book, and MS Forms. I pick up my two bright, young colleagues from my division.
Okay.
I first of all give them the book and then started teaching them. So from an MS Access database to MS Forms, I created a link between them, and then I was able to prepare my seniority list online. And finally, they became a fantastic trained officers. On a click, they can prepare a seniority list.
Okay.
So that's the way that we drive the technology intervention, very small level,
I understand.
but I'm talking about almost 25 years back.
Yeah,
Right.
it's more an initiative, right? I think
It's more an initiative, and you
Yeah.
actually get engaged with your people around, and they loved it.
Okay.
They just find out that, oh, I am also tech savvy guy, right? I can also do something very differently than the others.
All right.
So leveraging that was one. So this is how I was functioning in this part. But when I went to the corporate style of the functioning, I saw an amazing work of a couple of things. One, how do you pick up the technology, business, and at a scale, right? How do you design this part? The second one was agility in adopting certain challenges.
Hmm.
So in terms of, hey, this market, this type of customers would need this type of technology products in a different manner. You need to change your work. You need to change your product line. You need to change your business models. So agility in defining that. So A, technology, B, scale, C, agility. All these three things, and then the geographical exposure of different geographies around the world. So, how do Australia operates, how does Singapore operates, what happens in the US market space. That gave me a different knowledge altogether, and that was a very different experience, so to say. I think these two were giving me a thinking about that. If I want to leverage these knowledges back in some way or the system in India, how do I do this?
Sure.
So it brought me that understanding very very clearly that, hey, I think there's a time when leveraging this network of leadership across the globe, leveraging the experiences of how technology shapes the world, and then coming back to the government is to how a policy from a technology perspective needs to be realigned. How do you see that the agility is adopted in a models where we can customize based on the demands of the industry, right? And we are agile enough to adopt those challenges and come out with a solutioning mode, right? So I think I'm trying to leverage that experience into where I'm today to see if we can deliver something good.
Oh, phenomenal. One more point I like to chat is like, especially good, working with the government. Again, sometimes your vision is big, but you may not get enough support in terms of resources and in terms of no other things, right? I think policy framework and I think because they have their own compulsions.
Yeah.
Many times even when this is a third startup I'm running, we get fed up like the investors are not listening to us, the market is not open, Indian customers don't have a great mentality. But I always look up to the in somewhere the bureaucrats saying that they somehow have the patience, but they also maneuver the whole process.
Yeah.
So could you throw some light of how do you really navigate? Because sometimes people give up, saying that okay, this is not worth, breaking your head against the wall. So
Yeah.
how do you see this, Sanjeev ji?
I think it comes from the background of that. What is the larger impact that you're going to create, right? And if you have a clarity on that impact and you're passionate enough to say that I want to create that impact and I want to work to make it happen,
Okay.
it changes the completely way that you operate, right?
Right.
And then I also remember Professor Mashelkar's, he's supposed to be called as the father of innovation in India. He used a very great word, more from less.
Okay.
And then he used one more word, more from less for more.
Okay. What is that?
That means that you have a less resources. How do you create more outcome of that with less resources? But for whom? For more people.
Okay.
So more from less for more.
Okay.
Right? And I got stuck with this thought process that, look, I don't think so that we will ever have an abundant resources of any kind. Anywhere, even a corporate, big multinational companies, in government setups, you will never have the abundant resources. You will have very limited resources. You need to design, first of all, have a clarity of what you want the impact created. On that impact basis, you need to understand that, look, this impact can be created with less also.
Sure.
What is the innovative thinking, strategies that need to be brought in to create that more impact? And always think about of this impact is not for individuals. It's for the larger
Like,
people to be gaining it, right? So, for example, if the impact is for uh, multinational companies coming in Karnataka and setting up, yes, but it should also be included. How do my local industry will leverage this, their investment opportunities coming up here? So more from less for more is for more larger MSME industries, more academic institutions, right? How do startups will flourish in relationship with that? That needs to be looked into as an outcome or an impact. And hence, that comes to play. Now, this you can only do it if you're passionate and committed. Because you will find these limited resources will somehow will put you into a big wall and say, sorry, you can't move further. But if you're passionate and committed, you will knock the door again. You will find out some other navigation map to, see the ways going forward, right? And that's a art. It's not a science. It's a skill which just moves on. The more you do this, the more you learn. And the more you get confidence into doing, hey, no matter what, I can still make it happen.
got it. Got it. Superb. Superb. Probably the last question personally, Sanjeev ji, is like, no, yeah, I know you are a writer of very poems, right?
Ah,
So I think how you find time, because we all wear different hats, right? I think even the kind of portfolio you are managing, not only GCC, startups, and on top of it, how do you find time? I think it should be inspirational for a lot of people to pursue their hobbies.
uh, I think, I would give to the credit to the airlines a lot.
Okay, you frequent flyer.
So I'm a frequent flyer because of the work that I was doing in my past as well as today. So in those, when you're in a plane, your internet is down. The only thing is with you and yourself at that point of time. You don't even talk to your sitting person next to you, right? So you actually then you just take a deep breath and just go into your deep thoughts. And that these thoughts could be inspired by any music, could be inspired by any incident, could be inspired by anybody sitting around you as well. So you pick up that thought process and then you start using your tech now, which is your mobile phone. And I have my language also fixed up on my phone, which is alphabets that I can type in Hindi and Urdu mix of that. So I use that and then I start typing it to whatever thoughts comes out in my mind. And that's what I just enjoy writing it at the point of time. And when I come out from the plane, I'm fresh, re-energized, feeling good. If I'm able to complete the poem at the point of time, then it's lovely to have that.
Very nice. Very nice.
So
Great.
thanks to the airlines, guys. Thank you so much giving me that opportunity to write poems for myself.
No, I would fascinated about your versatile experience. So could you let throw a little bit about your the early growth stage, right? Your background and where you born as well as your studies, and also I saw that you have studied the Indian Statistical Service, right? From there you got into be the corporate as well as other things. So why shouldn't you pursue an engineering graduate at that time, as well as having not having a background from the engineering or the tech? Is it limiting you, or how do you navigate that?
Uh, Shankar, it's a fantastic memories that I have of my early childhood. Yeah, I was born in a city called Jhansi,
Okay.
UP. Uh, and one was a part of Madhya Pradesh and UP mixed together. So, we born there. But then everybody was into the engineering field and everybody wanted to do, at that point in time, only IITs and IITs and IITs. And this how uh, you know, the wave of the people were there. I'm talking about in 1989, 1990. So how many decades now?
Yeah,
30.
30,
Yeah,
more than 30 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
So at that point of time, I was not in that. So I wanted to find out my own way. I said, no, I'm not going to do engineering. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. So that's what the question was there. So I was left unanswered questions. But I'm pretty sure that but I'm not going to do it.
Sure.
So I don't want to waste my, part into the engineering. Everybody wants to do engineering.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
What was your inspiration or your aspiration at that time? I will tell you, I also came from a very rural background, right? And at that time, I want to become a conductor.
Okay.
I mean, that was the only person I saw in my life, right? Or
Yeah.
a small shop.
Yeah.
So, what were if you were?
I don't know. I was thinking that I will become some sort of writer somewhere. I was very fascinated with some of the stories which was written by some of the great authors.
At least that is a little different level. Okay.
Yeah. So, but our economic situation was not so great, right? Obviously, we're fed properly at home, but it was a very small house in Jhansi, and my father is a practicing lawyer today, and he's blessed us with very great thought process to us. But a very small family, like lower middle class to a middle class family we were.
Sure.
And we were just making ourselves go. Nothing called any penny restaurants. I've never been to any restaurant till class 11th. Uh, all whatever food at home is the food that we used to eat. Restaurant was a very different world. Ice creams and Coke and everything.
We never saw in life.
I saw them, but I can't afford to eat them. Right.
Okay.
Right. So I know that they are there, but I can't. So it's okay. That's part of it. But engineering was one there, so I didn't went for that, and I don't know what to do because I've been like a frog in a well. Whatever I've seen in my hometown is what I know. I don't know anything else. There was no internet also, so knowledge was very limited. Exposure was very limited. So I came to know about the Banaras Hindu University. Somebody told me that, hey, why don't you apply for this? Somebody told me that you should plan to do some graduation somewhere and go for IIMs. One of my relative told me that IIM is very good. I don't know what IIM stands for, but he said you should do your MBA from IIM. I said okay, but then fairly what happened is that I find out something from the forms and etc. I got into entrance examination and went to BHU. But to be very frank, Shankar, BHU has a university which has changed my life.
Okay.
It's a turning point in my personality. Right, I went there for a bachelor program, Bachelor of Science. Today it is called as Institute of Science now. Earlier it was called as Faculty of Science. And because of their tech, which has gone up in some of the label, one of the finest universities developed at that point of time in India by the founder called Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya, an amazing, great leader. He was a journalist, he was a lawyer, he was a freedom fighter, and he was a ed tech type of stuff person who wants to bring tech and ed together into the university. In 1916, he set up the university. When I started reading, I just got inspired with this guy. And he set up this university, you know what? By begging funds from anybody who can donate. Anybody.
Wow.
And there's a very fantastic story which I've been sharing with a lot of people around. He went to Nizam of Hyderabad to get a fund for the university to set up. Nizam of Hyderabad said, "You please get out from my place and palace and etc. I don't want to give any fund." He was saying, no, please do that. Then he took off his shoes and threw shoes on him, on the Panditji.
Okay.
Right? And the Panditji went out from that. Okay, thank you so much. I understand. You can't give. He took his shoes, went out in the market in the Chauraha,
Okay.
and say, this is Nizam's shoes. Who wants to buy this?
Okay.
And auction it, got the money, put into the university.
Wow.
That's the leadership that he has proven, in terms of how do you design, how do you work if you're committed and passionate. I was talking to earlier. When I'm talking to him, I'm getting my goosebumps because he has inspired me a lot. He said, nothing to worry. If you are committed, you want to do it, you will do it. Just go on. Just go on. Just go on. So today, this university is recognized as one of the best universities. You have IIT there, you have Indian Medical Sciences there. It's a huge campus. You have 100% residentials. You have a sports, you have a residential for hostels, you have faculties of advanced technologies. Everything is available in that, campus called Banaras Hindu University. And then our Honorable Prime Minister has given, after he was not recognized, when he became the Prime Minister first time, the Bharat Ratna Award, the first Bharat Ratna Award that he gave to the Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya.
Wow.
And that's the recognition that he deserves, right? Anyway, that's how I went into the science. But it changed the life because we used to call teacher as Guruji.
Okay.
And the Guruji used to come with a cycle to the faculty to teach us. So that means he can afford a car, he can have a bike, he can have a scooter.
Okay.
But he just wants to stay in that and come in a very simple, sandals pehan ke aate the, and then just come into the class, and we used to say Guruji, and we used to, learn from him. While proper modern class, there's a benches there, there's the whiteboard there, a blackboard is there, everything is there. But that's a culture. And then we have a mess in a hostel where the mess is supposed to be, the chef is called as on a chef, or somebody like, it's called Maharaj.
Okay.
So you have learned that how do you relate different people around you, right? If he's even a chef also, how you call them as a Maharaj, right? He's a Maharaj. He's giving you food to eat. So he's a Maharaj,
Okay.
right? And he cooks food for us. So a huge respect for those people around it. And then the lot of political circles were evolving at that point of time. And there was a Mandal commissions and etc. So you learn different political exposures around it, understand that how it happens. And I'm on outside. A lot of people are from Bihar and West Bengal and Odisha and southern states also. How do you survive in this diverse people around it, right? So today, what I am in terms of whatever good, bad, ugly I am, is is the is the content has been given by this university. So that made me this. But then after doing my graduation from there, again everybody wants to do an MBA, typical one, and I didn't want to do an MBA. So it always like I want to travel a path which is never traveled by anybody, or a lone traveler. Now, what that lone path is also sometimes you don't know, Shekhar, right? It was, so then we said, okay, fine, let me go for civil services then. So then I shifted from my base from Banaras to Delhi.
Okay.
And I did my post-graduation and MSc from Delhi University. I did my MPhil from there, right? And then I was appearing in civil services and finally got selected in the ISS in 1998. And that's how it made me life. But from education, Shankar, I think I'm very fortunate to have 5 degrees with me. You have obviously the Bachelor of Science, the MSc, MPhil, and then an MBA from FMS Delhi University. Then I did my Black Belt Six Sigma program from American Society of Quality. Then I was honored by a
Doctorate
from a university which I don't use as a doctor because I have to still earn while doing the hard work. It's an honorary doctorate, so I don't use that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a respect which has been almost 6-7 certifications which we got into while doing the government service and the private services as well. I just went on.
Got it. So I think nowadays, you are mentoring a lot of startups apart from your own colleagues, right? And even the whole, industry, right? Do you think that your early stage in somewhere it is means if hadn't have a different exposure, it would have been very different. What I'm asking is, you're a small town guy, small town boy, and I think still it will be there inside. Whether it would have been very different. Why I'm asking is nowadays a lot of people will be listening, a lot of startup founders will be listening. How can they unleash their capacity, not restricted by their own constraints of their childhood?
Yeah, I think to the larger audience, my humble request to all of you is that believe that God has given you the immense power inside you. The only thing is that my only suggestion is don't go with the way which is going on. Find your own way. Find your own way and challenge yourself that, okay, why not that? Right? And then you will find an answer in terms of what you do. So, for example, startups and entrepreneurship today, right? If you're a college student, a grade 10 student or a grade 12 student, or you're in a PU or in a degree colleges, right? Why I should get as an employment? Why? Why not become an entrepreneur? Okay. Ask this question to yourself. And when you ask this question to yourself, then you will come out with an answer. If I want to do this, okay, I need to talk to whom? Okay, to understand more. Okay, what is the new thing that I can develop? Right? And then you come back to the situation again. Maybe your decision come back and say, no, I want to go and join the job right now because of learning curve. Maybe. But if you don't challenge the situation where you are in today, you will not find the next move of yourself. So, second, piece is today the opportunity matrix has gone beyond boundaries, right? A person who is staying in Sitapur in Bihar, a person who is staying in Tirupati in Andhra Pradesh, right? Or a person who is sitting in Kochi or a Bangalore or Gurgaon, right? Doesn't matter. You have an information and access of ideas, mentorship, everywhere available with you, right?
Sure.
The only thing which is you need to find out an answer for yourself is, do you want to challenge yourself and make it happen or not? If you can challenge yourself, I can assure you that there is a day written for you in this history coming up. And that day can be yours. Grab it.
Got it. I think it's coming from a person who has come from a small background and then rise all to the level, right? I think I'm sure a lot of people will learn from here.
Thank you.
Sure. Sir, you're the CEO of KDEM, Karnataka Digital Economy Mission. As an outsider, we know that you're on a journey of creating 300 billion of 1 trillion digital economy for India, right? And you are encompassing very different things like GCCs to IT services, startups, and other things. But I would like to, or our audience would like to learn, what is your vision for KDEM and for the whole economy as such, right? What it encompasses. Can you throw a little bit light?
Yeah, sure, Shankar. I think we have, the country is looking for $1 trillion digital economy very soon now. Maybe in a couple of years or maybe 3 to 4 years period of time. In this journey, if you pick up the map of India, the one state which is promising and leading state is the state of Karnataka.
Definitely.
There's a, I was walking on the streets of California,
Okay.
and I saw a pillar where 3, 4 cities were mentioned. London dash number of kilometers, right? Singapore dash number of kilometers, and Bangalore dash number of kilometers. I got thrilled. That means that we have made a mark in the world as a Bangalore as a brand, right? And Karnataka as a state, representing India. If that's the representation that Karnataka takes, then Karnataka will have to take a little bit more leadership role, more responsible role. Leadership responsible come from by saying if $1 trillion digital economy is aspired by India, at least 1/3 can be come from Karnataka state.
Sure.
And hence the $300 billion of target that we have thought about ourselves as an aspiration, that we should be able to achieve that, right, in a couple of years, maybe 4 to 5 years period of time. And if we achieve that, we will be not only just taking a large responsibility, but actually will be a positive catalyst in India's reaching to $1 trillion, because that's where it will depend upon. So henceforth, this mission also was born, the Karnataka Digital Economy Mission. That okay, if that's again, we need a mission which is driving this digital economy growth, working with GCCs, working with ITS companies, working with electronic system design manufacturing companies, working with startups in tech field, and create a sub-mission of Beyond Bangalore.
Got it.
Where we create a growth engine for Mysuru, Mangaluru, Hubli-Belgaum, Dharwad, Tumkur, Shimoga, and Kalburgi. Bringing these 6 clusters, and outside Bangalore, entire state is divided into 6 clusters.
Okay.
But Bangalore ko chhod diya, uske बाद
Okay.
all is divided into 6 clusters. I mean, these 6 clusters will become the growth engine for the digital economy apart from Bangalore. So we say Bangalore and beyond.
Got
right? And hence this mission was born. And our mission is something like by the industry and for the industry. And 100% supported by the government.
Super.
We work for the industry, we work by the industry and make it happen. So this is the way the engine was born. And then we picked up people, professionals from across the board of the organizations. People have joined from Big Fours, people have joined from big tech companies to us. And they all are passionate because they might have get higher salaries anywhere else.
Right.
We are not for profit, for economic impact. Remember that, right?
Right.
So we will give salaries, we give them a respect, but these are like coming here not for the for the employment, but they're coming here because they are committed for the state and they want to deliver something for us.
Giving back to the society.
Giving back and doing something impactful work for the society, for the state as well. And I think that's where this mission comes in. Now, under this, we have a GCCs, which is very important. ITS, which is very important. And as I said, startup is very important. I give you one fact and then you may want to pick up another question to me. In startups, if you pick up the number of startups which is registered in the country, there are very many. I think the number has gone to 170,000 plus.
Right.
But filter it out from the funded startups.
Sure.
And then you see the Karnataka funded startup ecosystem, right?
Sure.
Startups are funded. You will find more than 50% startups are actually coming from Karnataka, to our funded startups.
Okay.
Exact number I'm not aware, but I'm just giving a range.
Okay.
And then, if you pick up the number of unicorns which has been born in the country so far, right? Out of 105, I think 51 or 52 are born from Karnataka alone.
Got it.
And there is terminology called as Sonicons, soon to become unicorns.
Right.
So, almost multiply of this number of 50 plus, 150 plus companies are in the line of Sonicons.
Right.
So that means they will become unicorns in coming years.
I'm serious, yeah.
So, if you run a business, you look at a pipeline of companies, right?
Correct.
What does the pipeline look like? So our pipeline is very strong in terms of the unicorns to be coming up from the state. Just a number for you, right? And then you pick up these Beyond Bangalore clusters. We have almost like 2,000 plus startups operating from these 6 clusters.
Got it.
Right. come to the IT, ITS and GCC side, right? In the GCC's frame, almost let's say 1,760 plus GCCs operate from the country. Uh, Karnataka has more than 800 GCCs operating right now.
Got it.
And Karnataka GCC story is a 4 decades old story. The first GCC which came in India was TI.
Texas Instrument.
Yes. And they set up in Bangalore.
Bangalore. Yeah.
And from that journey, the GCC's operation, GCC's now has in a different fields altogether. You have in R&D space, you have in space like healthcare, space like semiconductor, space like designs, space like procurement, retail, pharmaceutical, aerospace. Well, domains goes across in the GCCs now. In fact, this quarter results came out that the largest million square feet area leased by GCCs anywhere is in Karnataka.
Okay.
Right. So that's the way the GCC's numbers are. So we are today almost 38 to 40% of the GCC's market share. And we have come out with the GCC policy for 2024-29, which aims for adding another 500 more into 1,000 GCCs that we can bring in, right? And then creating job opportunities for lakhs of people around in this domain. That's another framework on which we have come out. And on the ideas, we have pick up the Wipros, the Infosys, the TCS, the Accentures, Tech Mahindras. Everybody has a larger campuses here in Karnataka, and they're expanding the campuses across the state as well, right?
Right.
So just to give you these numbers to say that where Karnataka stands, now our target becomes much more steeper, because you want to go from here to a larger number. Your base is already big, and then you're targeting a bigger number. It's going to be a difficult task, right? And hence we require a very strong industry partnership with us.
Sure.
Right. So what we do is we have almost like 70 plus industry champions who are volunteering their time, who are volunteering their network, their wisdom and experience to bring on the table for the KDEM. And they say, KDEM, can you design this particular piece for the talent work? Can you this particular piece for the infra work, etc., etc.? And see, we can then motivate other investors to come in and set up their operations in Karnataka. So advisors of the industry is very, very valuable for us. Right. And hence why I say by the industry means advisors, and for the industry, which is the industry to grow.
Great. So I think I worked earlier in Infosys, also in Tech Mahindra, right? I think I have huge respect for the IT services companies. But what I want to understand from you, though the numbers really great, and I'm sure it is creating a lot of job opportunities, is it still a old wine in a new bottle? Like, the same IT services means the shared services being given to their own company rather than anything really created. So what is your perspective? Some real facts on the ground of what the GCs are really doing.
Yeah. No, I think what you said is could be as a statement to argue something, but the fact is not the same.
Sure.
It's basically now what's happening is the cost arbitrage has moved towards the capability arbitrage, right? So yes, at IT, ITS services organizations, we're working on the cost arbitrage and serve the global companies on their journey of transformation. And some of these earlier GCCs came up to leverage that and say, we can do it in-house by ourselves. Right. But when they realize the capability, not the cost, when they realize the capability, then they thought, oh my God, this is something very different. I can increase my productivity of not per employee, but productivity of my investment in the organization, not in India, but globally.
Okay.
So that means what? If I am able to find out the sourcing of the right vendor sitting here in Bangalore for the supply in Mexico to be supplier based out of Singapore,
got it.
I'm increasing the productivity of my organization. So you have set up a procurement team here for the global procurement and sourcing that can be done from operating from here. It's not a cost arbitrage. It's a capability matrix. Then you go into understanding that, okay, what if happened if my entire finance and accounting operations operate from here? Now, okay, while you develop its cost arbitrage initially, account people, they will manage the accounts and etc.
Right.
But the capability came in, can they file the returns in the US economy as per the standards laid down by here?
Sure.
By them.
Sure.
And this capability is available here or not? Answer is yes.
Sure.
So they shifted the gear from a hardcore, cost arbitrage towards a capability arbitrage.
Sure.
The other thing which happens is next layer is the tech start coming in place. And hence the tech, when it comes into place, then you find, how can I use my AI? How can I use my cybersecurity functions? How can I use my layer of data analytics and data science into that?
Sure.
And today you find that the GCCs are coming up here, leveraging a lot of these tech solutioning, the tech talent from here for their global operations. So if any GCC wants to set up a data science type of work, their first preference is India, and within India is Karnataka.
Sure.
And that's how the maturity curve. So today in the GCC dictionary, Shankar, they call as maturity curve of GCCs.
Right.
I'm very proud for the industry and everybody else to give the next level of maturity curve from Karnataka for the world. Right.
Sure.
So that means you have this. Now, New York Stock Exchange, the entire operations runs from here in Bangalore.
Right.
So that's another field which has come. The last piece for you to look at, it's not old wine in a new bottle, is the innovation ecosystem. In the innovation ecosystem, today, if you, let's say example of Lowe's, they are in the retail GCC. They have a proper setup for startups and innovation in this space here. JP Morgan, which is a bank right now, they work very closely with startup ecosystem. They work very closely with us as well, right? To identify that which startups can serve their banking product line, not only their banking product line, but which startups can serve their end client as well. Their end client could be in travel and tourism industry.
Sure.
So how a solution of a startup from a Bangalore can serve the JP Morgan clients sitting in somewhere in the world on travel and tourism industry, and can be a cool go-to-market together.
Sure.
JLR, they're larger one. They are
Right.
they hunt the startups and then they start bringing them inside.
Correct.
So the level of the GCC's thinking around has gone up. What is the outcome of this? Lovely outcomes. IPs are creating here.
Okay.
Amazing IPs are creating here of different domains.
Any statistics, sir? Any numbers there?
I would suggest that I don't have an exact number of IPs because they don't file here. They file in
Sure.
in US or different locations, etc. But in my view, it will be more than 5,000 IPs which have been produced from the GCC's network alone, right?
Okay.
On year-to-year basis. More than that. In fact, I'm a very conservative number. More than this. But how they're filing it up, in fact, one organization itself 5,000 IPs. I know that fact.
Okay.
Right.
So is it KDEM? I think, sorry to circumvent this one. It's like, do they help GCC in finding more patent in India, because it's actually originated there, right? Obviously, the headquarters is there.
Yeah.
What is your thought? What is your
We push. We not push. We actually request them to also look at India. But I think the IP rules and regulations in India needs to be educated more to our GCC segment. They're a little bit scared that if we file here, it might get leaked out or they might leverage in a different manner, which is not the case. We have very, very secure IP ecosystem in the country. But they have some reservations on it. So I think more education and awareness is required going forward, which we are trying to do. NASSCOM is partnering with us in IP and saying, let's do a partner with and educate more of people in the GCC's frameworks to see how they can file apart. But I think domestic market will create that much momentum. For example, Revolut has started their organization, UK-based fintech company. They started operations with some small people, I think some 200 people or so. Today, there are more than 2,000 people in just 3 years period of time.
Sure.
They are now setting up India business also.
Right.
So once you have an India business, you're creating a product, then you will love to file it in India. So I think it's a journey which will go forward, but numbers are very big in terms of the global numbers if you pick up. I think the hub of the HQs of the GCCs on innovation is driven from here.
Definitely, sir. But I will still play a devil's advocate role here, right? I think if you look at the, say, the TCS's Infosys company, and their revenue per employee, it's around $30,000. And if you look at the GCC, they are employing closely around 2 million, and their output is 65 billion, right? Which is again translating to the same 30,000 bracket. So I still see it is saying that, hey, we really not really moved up in the value curve, maybe except the few edge cases, right? I think lows of the world or few, right? But not overall is what I would still argue.
Well, see, you should look at not from this number perspective. You should look at the quality of the work which is done by them. See, at the level of today, if you find a Java or .NET expert in ITS companies versus a data science expert in the other companies, the GCC's companies, the matrix is different.
So that should translate into salary and the output.
It is what is happening. It is what is happening now,
Sure.
right? But it will also impact negatively.
Okay.
Because if you increase the and salaries and etc. are market driven, so there's no role of the government here.
Right. No, so I'm not talking about government role, but I'm saying that whether GCs have really gone up in the value curve, that argument. I'm saying that if the salary of
So I'm just coming to the point is, from a value perspective, as I said, the capability has gone up, right?
Right.
Today, I think around, I would say, 15 to 16% of the global leadership of GCCs.
Sure.
Please, and to the audience also, 15 to 16% of global leadership of GCCs operates from India.
True.
Now, if they're operating from India, what are they doing? Are they taking orders and executing, or are they co-owning a process or a business and designing it from here in India sitting? So it's moved from taking orders towards becoming the more of the co-owners. Right?
Got it.
This is the quality part of the parameter that you need to do. Now the salary part has gone up, and it's gone up. It is from a GCC salary versus ITS salaries. There's a difference here.
Definitely, yes.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
Now, if it goes up and up, we are competing with the world.
Definitely.
Right. So we need to find an answer. We need to give salaries more. For example, in Bangalore salaries versus Chennai salaries, and Chennai salaries versus Bangalore salaries, or a salary which is available in Mysore or in Bangalore versus the metropolitan towns.
Okay.
So we want to give them an options that you can have the same capability, high quality work, but the same price of the salary in Mysore. But the other leadership which is required to be made available for you can still have a hub in Bangalore. So we design a strategy called as hub and spoke strategy, or spoke show strategy.
Sure.
You can have a hub anywhere in the world, not in Bangalore, anywhere in the world.
Okay.
We'll operate a spoke for you in some of my clusters. And that's the way that we have given them a capability at the right price margins.
Got it, sir. Got it. So coming to the one of the moot points of the GCCs, or they're coming here, is a capability or the human talent, right? It's really great to say that there are 2 million people are working, but there is other statistics which is also coming out saying that Karnataka is creating 2 lakh engineers a year, but the NASSCOM study says that less than 50% in Bangalore are worthy enough or good enough to get into the employment, right? And that number is even all the more lower when you go to the tier 2, tier 3, which is 30%. I understand KDEM doesn't control the education quality per se, but what are the what are the initiatives taken by you? What are the things so that the more and more people are at least employable?
Yeah. I think the challenge becoming much more severe. Just not about this point. Yeah, because emerging technologies are coming so faster than we expected, right? And are we able to have the quality talent for those emerging skills?
Right.
I think what uniquely what we have done is and the results are showing some positive side there, and some more positive results will come as the time goes by, is that I think the previous way of skill development programs which were there were not catering to the new demand which is coming up, right? A certificate level of this kind, whereas the demand of the technology of this kind is not meeting.
Sure.
So what we did is, let's come out with a program thanks to the Honorable Minister for taking this initiative forward along with us, is the Nipuna program.
Nipuna, okay.
Yeah. What he did is, he suggested that let's give our authority to the industry first.
Okay.
So for example, let's say, Sankarji, you have a company, right? And you say, I need 20 freshers, 5 middle managers, and 1 leadership, right? So how do we do this exercise for you? You have a job roles defined, you have specifications defined for that, everything is qualifications defined for this, certifications, talent which is required, the skills which is required, you mentioned that. Can I take this? And you say, I will ask you, you have a content and curriculum to train someone on these particular skills? You say yes.
Okay.
Or you say, no, I have a third party who does this for me. Okay. If you say yes that you have, then we say, okay, fine. Why don't you help submit a proposal to us? Whereas in your content and curriculum, you are doing, and let's say your cost is 100 rupees. we would be happy to partner with you to support you with 40 rupees for that. So you reduce the cost. But not only this, we'll also help you to find out the supply of these candidates to you,
Okay.
right? Within the ecosystem of the state of Karnataka. And we bring those candidates for you. You can judge them, you can analyze them, put them into a training program, take them into your employment opportunity, and we give you 40% of that cost to you. Right. This has changed the way, because now you're not dependent upon the certification of XYZ authorized bodies and etc. and then say it is misfit for you.
Right.
If it is
You
content and curriculum is misfit for you, then it's your content and curriculum. We are not saying that how many number of hours, what faculty will train, what you will train. You are describing it for yourself. And we are just saying we follow your wisdom and experience and agree with that. Let's say if you say third party, then we say third party can submit a proposal to us.
Sure.
We will, same way we can work with the third party who gives the candidates to you. So I think the larger piece is that if the audience in the organizations are there, the corporations, the training partners, I would request them to leverage the Nipuna Scheme program. The Nipuna Scheme program is a very very innovative program which we have come out, because we want to cater to the industry demands by industry in supporting some benefit from the government and bring the supply of the candidate from our side. Last piece of this beauty is on a, I would say, cream on the cake is these people need not to be hired alone in Bangalore.
Yes. I think we discussed. Yes.
Yes. These people can be hired anywhere in the world.
Okay. Okay.
You still get this benefit from us.
So only thing is the GCC should be in India, or for example, if it is a training company, right? What is a major condition, sir?
So there are some very small ones. They should be having some at least experience of training some people. So there are numbers is there in terms. So you should have some capability of show some capability.
Sure.
If you have a base in Bangalore at least, because people can't travel from my state for training program to another state. So it becomes huge. So you should have some operations in Bangalore, right? And you have some demand from the industry with you.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Then we are happy to work with you and figure it out. We have very small criteria there. And our team are there to help our partners. So corporates, training partners, academic institutions, they can also partner with industry directly.
Okay.
And so academic institution can partner and they can become the leverage the Nipuna Scheme benefits and serve the industry much larger way.
Got it. Do you have any platform or anything, sir, for to interaction? Because whenever I go to a GCC event, I see enough number of academic institutions. They say that they want to come and work with GCCs, but if there is any platform, it will become more seamless, right? Because everyone need not reinvent the wheel.
Correct.
For example, I was talking to the renowned Nissan GCC head from Chennai, and they say that their whole whatever they practice is part of the curriculum of certain universities. But because of this size, there are 15,000. It is, but a small GCC of 500, they may not have the bandwidth to do all these. Is there anything if not immediately in the future?
No, we did one step, but there's what is coming up in future. I will tell you. But what we did is we got first of all network with around 75 academic institutions outside Bangalore.
Okay,
and because they're hungry. And then we brought the industry closer to the these academic institutions. They could be coming as part of hiring interns. They could be coming as part of training the faculty. They could be coming as part of jobs that they have in their hands, right? Yeah. And they're publishing those jobs. Some of their content and curriculum is given to them to say, if you can add this module into your existing curriculum, it'll be better for their employability index going up. So all these efforts are going on. Still, the impact of that was limited. I will not say that we have really achieved a wonderful job onto this. Many reasons for that, right? I think the strong bonding between the industry and academic institution needs to be established more formally, rather than just whenever you want, I can come in and join you and etc. Or some events happening, then we invite you and you're part of that, etc. So maybe we have to change this gear a little bit more. In fact, recent discussion which has happened with the Honorable Minister also is to come out with a program called as 100 AI.
100 AI. Okay, what is it?
This is identifying 100 academic institutions, 100 industry leaders, 100 industries.
AI that way. Okay.
Yeah, AI that way, right? So it's a very nice, right? And he has asked us to put together a very thoughtful, program onto this. So we are right now shaping up that program. Sure. And very soon you will hear from us in terms of how 100 AI programs can be worked on the ground and the reality. And that will change the way the relationship between the academic institutions and the industry can be formalized much better way than in the past.
Definitely. So I think the talk you mentioned about the 6 clusters beyond Bangalore, right? And I also read your ambition saying that creating 1 lakh job in the HBD region, right? Or sorry, HDB region,
Cluster.
cluster. So how does it impact on the GCC, and what are the steps going there?
The major, first of all, let me tell you, I think it's both ways. We are hungry to attract GCCs and manufacturing companies to come to cluster. Likewise, the GCCs and the manufacturing companies are also looking at opportunities to expand themselves into the other locations.
Okay, primary reasons.
Primary reasons are I will tell you, primary reason comes out to the talent. And then, talent. And then it also comes out in terms of the way the cost of operations are there. And secondly, concentration should not be there in one location. So they want to have a concentration, de-risk themselves for a one concentration to some diversified locations as well.
Sure.
So these are the primary reasons on which the GCCs and manufacturing companies looks out for. What we have done very differently. Shankarji, if I come to you and say, hey, can you have this coffee? Can you buy this coffee from me?
Okay.
You will say, Sanjeev, why I should buy this coffee? What is so different in this coffee?
Sure.
I have many variety of coffees coming to me.
Right.
That means what I need to tell you is, I to tell you, look, this coffee is made in so and so. This coffee has so much of characteristics of this kind. This coffee is, has been taken up by so many other people, right?
Mm.
So I want to give you my product characteristics, which completely align with your strategy of business.
Sure.
If it is aligned, you will buy.
Definitely.
That means your satisfaction level,
Right.
your taste of this coffee.
Right.
Then you will buy, right? So that means if I want to make sure that my Mysuru or my Tumkuru or a Kalburgi cluster is a saleable product, I need to define what the characteristics of this product are.
Sure.
So what we did is we thoroughly defined the product of each cluster.
Okay.
What the product means for. The product stands for what is the existing industry ecosystem there.
Sure.
How many people are, what type of talent is employed right now in this industry ecosystem?
Sure.
Let's say if I say that I have IBM in Mysore and, Tech Mahindra in Bangalore, etc., etc., etc. And if I say they are using data science talent.
Okay.
So I'm saying what is the ecosystem there? What type of talent is employed there? So the two characteristics of my product. The third characteristic is what are the new supply coming in from that side of that nature.
Okay.
That's the third characteristics. The fourth characteristic, what is the infrastructure which is available, like plug-and-play facilities, IT parks, etc. What is the social infrastructure available in that city in terms of the modern life living, the residential, the schools, the hospitality, and etc., entertainment and all this stuff. Then comes out what is the innovation ecosystem there. Okay, if I'm let's say in a cybersecurity, I have a cybersecurity center of excellence and incubation center in Mysore, and they are looking at to have a team develop on cybersecurity. Oh, they find a match here.
Got it.
They say, I can do a 50-60 people team in Mysore on cybersecurity of my GCC now.
Sure.
So innovation ecosystem become an important element for that, right? And then you require a local industry standing for that purpose. So that means you need to motivate the industry people to come and say, talk it out. Talk it out in terms of your success stories, what you're doing here, etc. And share this perspective to the larger audience. Brand your cluster much more bigger, right? Last is the policy benefit which comes to you, right?
Sure.
So policy benefit means that, okay, if you set up 100-seat operations, I give you employee provident fund, I'll give you rental reimbursements, I'll give you electricity consumption reimbursements. So many benefits are there for. What we do is, Shankar, is use this now. So this is the characteristics 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 written here.
Sure.
Now I give you this coffee to you.
Sure.
Means what? I give you entire P&L.
Got it.
So CEO is confirmed because of the characteristics. CTO was confirmed. Now the CFO needs to be convinced.
Right.
So I make a P&L. If 100-seater in Hyderabad, in Chennai, versus 100-seater in here, how much your cost or your bottom line will be impacted with? And bare minimum 25%.
Got it.
So I capture the mind share of CEO. I capture the mind share of CFO. I capture the mind of CAO. If I am able to sell these, capture the mind, my product is sellable. And this is what we're doing in our clusters.
Great, sir. But what is on ground? Is there any impact you're already seeing it, or it's still work in progress you'll be able to see?
Lovely. In last 10.5 years, in these clusters alone, we have got 100 companies set up their operations. 100.
100.
And many of them, and not many of them, but few of them are in GCCs as well. In Bangalore, we have more than, I would say, 12 to 14 GCCs operating right now.
Okay.
Okay. So this is one parameter for success or an impact, so to say. But our aspirations are very big. This impact is seriously not giving me satisfaction. I need to work very hard to make this number much more bigger. The second is, outside India and larger Indian companies are looking at acquisition of some of the companies from these clusters.
Okay.
I think in last 2 years or so, 4,500 crores worth of acquisition has happened from these companies, from these locations.
Okay.
This is another impact that we're creating. And why are you interested? Because the talent, the work that these guys are doing, it's acquire this company.
Okay.
Right? And then we scale it up much more. So that's the second parameter. The third parameter is the, real estate guys are coming in. Sanjeev, what if I set up a 1 lakh square feet IT park? Would you be able to help me to get the companies there? I had never heard this statement coming to me 3 years back.
Okay.
So they are coming and talking to us. Why?
Sure.
Because they see that they can sell their infrastructure far better than anywhere else. So they're coming and putting it up here. The fourth one is, which is a success parameter is that, the people in the city are asking me, please don't spoil my city.
Okay.
I love this.
Okay.
I respect that. The positive side of this is planned out an initiative in such a way that the culture of the city, the growing part of the city, the demand part of the city matches properly.
Got it.
They're seeing that there's a growth happening.
All right.
The property rates are going up.
All right.
Right? So you find that it is coming out.
All right.
And then your parents are giving some statements here and there. Oh, my son got a job. My daughter got a job here itself. Right? And I'm very happy with the family.
Sure. Sure.
These are the impact parameters that we judge upon and say, are we doing the right track?
Sure. Great, sir. So I think one more part which is coming in my mind is like, in India, the women coming into the labor force is the lowest. I think even I saw that it's even lower than even Pakistan, right?
Really? I don't know this number.
Probably I will share the number.
Okay.
Probably I may not be exactly right, but I heard, right. But at least it is one of the lowest in other parts.
Okay.
Right. So, is there anything which is specifically happening? Especially it is a digital economy where people can work from anywhere. Right. There are so many people educated, engineering, everything. Is there any special focus there, or how about
Absolutely. It is there.
Okay.
And Government of Karnataka is coming out with a skill policy.
Okay.
You will find a chapter in that only for women.
Okay.
And how do we create more women skilled workforce available for various kind? But let me give you some hardcore examples. We started a program called as Women at Work.
Okay.
W at the rate W.
Okay.
That's the brand we created.
Sure.
It also looks like a wow. So when you see, you will say wow.
Okay.
But it means that women at work.
Sure.
The women at work has principles of three kind. One, we are not going to reinvent the wheel by ourselves about bringing the women workforce up. Every corporate in this country and the state, they are having a program, specific programs for women to come and join them.
Sure.
The unfortunate part is that their programs are not reaching to the masses.
Okay. Sure.
So the one is this gap. So what we need to do is understand what the corporate is doing, amplify the message to the larger audience across the clusters.
Sure.
Right? So that's the one piece that we do. We say Women at Work initiative is to amplify the corporate's attraction of women program to the larger audience.
Sure.
Second piece that we're doing it, bringing the local women leadership at the community level and asking them, please help me to strategize how do we engage more women workforce locally as well as globally.
Okay.
So they are now becoming the owner of Women at the Rate Work.
Okay.
Right? Wow. Leaders who are helping us to put together strategies. Second piece that we're doing it. And they become the more like a brand for themselves in the community. For example, if an executive leader who is the CEO or a CFO or a CTO goes to a education institution and talks to them, imagine how many people get inspired.
Sure.
Right? And then they also say, there are so many more programs which are running, please join us. The third thing is understanding the skills requirement of that.
Got it.
Right? And say, what are the gaps which are available in those skills programs? And how do you enhance like Nipuna program, like other Department of Skill Development programs to see how we can enhance their skill and then bring them inside the workforce as well, right? Outcome, a Maharashtra-based cybersecurity company called Velox
Okay.
set up a 100-seater all-women workforce in Mysore.
Okay. Wow.
This is an outcome, right?
Okay.
So you see results. IBM is hiring in Mysore. The GCC is hiring and is asking the women workforce coming in and making it up. The parameters has been from 30% has got to 45%.
Okay.
The recruitment, the workforce numbers
Okay.
of the women.
45%. Okay.
Yes, and there are some companies in Bangalore which has gone 51, 52%. Right.
Got
So
it.
we have seen examples of those. Are these efforts in the right direction? As I said, yes, maybe some more need to be added. Now we are also developing communities.
Sure.
So women in AI,
Okay.
a community of those. Women in manufacturing, community of those.
Okay.
So we picked up, for example, we requested G Healthcare to say, can your leadership come on my women and manufacturing community and share their perspective on how manufacturing has changed a lot and women can definitely work in the women manufacturing. In fact, G has a facility of manufacturing, 100% workforce is women.
Okay.
Here in Bangalore,
Oh,
100%. So we said, why don't you come? So then Tata Electronics joined along with them.
nice.
So G joined. And I said, okay, fine. Let's work together to make a community. What this community does? Inspire many women. Share stories, understand challenges, advise the challenges on the part, and also share what are the new trends of the manufacturing coming in where you can join the workforce at what level. This is the community work. So women in manufacturing, women in AI, women in recruitment also, because recruitment is a work which can be done by women fantastically great, right?
Definitely.
So how do we create a community of women, of recruiters who are working as a community together? So these are women recognitions. Now, sorry to take a little more time.
Sure.
We program startups and entrepreneurs as well, women in entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So Government of Karnataka, Department of IT/BT has come out with a program, women in the programs for accelerator for startups, women in Elevate programs. I'm very happy and very proud. Almost 30% of the Elevate program
Okay.
candidates which are applied for it and got selected, 30% are women entrepreneurs.
Got it.
What is the Elevate program? From rupees 0 to rupees 50 lakhs, up to rupees 50 lakhs.
Okay.
It's been given as a grant
Okay.
to a startup to
Okay.
convert from their idea to a product.
Got it. Got it. Sure. So how do you amplify this? Is there, because there are so many entrepreneurs, budding entrepreneurs, or even students might be watching this. So where should they really get this kind of information from?
Just reach out to the Department of IT/BT website,
Okay.
KDEM website. You will get all information about it, right?
Sure.
But if you don't have anything else, by any chance you're not able to figure it out, we have an email ID. We'll publish it on the screen as well with you.
Sure.
Send out an email on this. Do you want some more information about ABCDEF? We will be happy to forward this information to you and engage with you.
Fantastic, sir. Fantastic. Fantastic. So moving on to the startup side, right? I think you just mentioned about it, like some acquisition. I think, how is the collaboration between the GCCs and the startup? Because that is a one critical pillar of why the GCCs are entering to India, especially to the Bangalore.
I actually, was pleasantly surprised. What I did was our team, KDEM, started doing is, government has asked, look, you have the GCCs here in India, in Karnataka. Let us go and meet them and understand. So Department of IDBT and Government of Karnataka said, let's do this interaction with very close interactions with them, one-to-one interaction with them. So we in the KDEM started doing this. Let's say fix up one-to-one meetings, and not that CEOs will come to our office. We'll actually visit their office.
Okay.
So in a week, at least 2 GCC companies, our team visits. And I personally also travel with them.
Sure.
And meet the GCC leaders and talk to them about it, understand what their issues are. I was pleasantly surprised in my last 1.5 years. The level of discussion has gone very deeper towards the discussions on startups and enterprise and the entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And then they're asking me questions that, oh, I never heard that Karnataka has 16 Center of Excellence here.
Okay.
Oh, then I said, okay, let me tell you. Center of Excellence on IoT, Center of Excellence on Cybersecurity, Center of Excellence on EVGC, Space Techs now, FinTech, all Center of Excellence are there. I didn't know. How can I partner with that? I said, that's the question that we need to now work on to this part. But in this journey of 1.5 years of interaction with the GCC leaders, I could find that now the GCCs are hungry to collaborate. Recent examples is JP Morgan did almost 6-7 months back a 2-day program of innovation here in Bangalore. We worked with them. Our startups pitches, the global leaders were here sitting in Bangalore. I started pitching and they picked a few of them. Right. Likewise, they're very interested to do all those exams. So I think as the time has come when we need to formalize this bridge between the GCCs and this. So we're trying to put together a co-create or co-innovate program.
Okay.
Wherein the GCCs comes and says, hey, I have these areas, focus areas on which you want to work upon. Our center of excellence can work on, and their startups under the center of excellence can work to find a solution for them, right?
Sure.
And then what they do is they now co-create and co-innovate together.
Sure.
So you have the access to all data sets, access of all experiences, access of mentorship, access of customers, access of testing of those product lines can be done so easily. And through this journey, can we get some 10 GCCs today? Can we get 50 GCCs after 2 months? Can we get 100 GCCs in 6 months period of time to join this karma of co-create and co-innovate? So that's a thought process right now. Have we put together a model onto this? Not yet. We're working with our leadership. Mr. Prashant Prakash is the chairperson of Startup Vision Group. So we have given this thought to him. He liked it. He said, let's prepare a detailed paper onto this and let's see how we can work onto this and make it much more collaborative way of GCCs with the startup ecosystem. And who else will do it? Karnataka. Because we are the largest startups.
Largest, yeah, yes, absolutely. Any success stories so far, which so far because of the collaboration, any products have come out of it, any acquisition, or I know you cannot name individually, but at least
I can't take the name, but I can tell you, a startup which has created a solution which helps the manufacturing to become 99.98% error-free based on the technology platform that they have developed. And that's into one of the largest manufacturing GCCs in the world. Now, this only I can say.
Understood.
Right.
Yeah.
Robotics is another example which has happened. One of the startups has worked on the EVGC front and has supported the Hollywood, movies getting used based on his or her technology.
Fantastic.
So there are multiple examples on that. But yeah, I can't take the name right now.
Definitely. Even we are regularly seeing there are so many accelerators being created.
Yes.
All right. Which primarily engages with the startups.
Yeah.
Right. Great. So moving on to the other portion is like the incentives which is given by the state to different kind of GCCs. Right. But in my interaction with a few GCC leaders, they say, hey, that's for a small upcoming GCC. So could you throw a little bit light on what kind of these incentives and for whom it is relevant?
Yeah. Thank you. And I think a message to all my colleagues in the GCC ecosystem is that the GCC policy which has been framed is framed for looking at how do we create this growth story for stories like in Mysuru, Mangaluru, Hubli, Belgaum, Dharwad, and these clusters, right? So the incentives which has been designed in such a way that if you're looking at an opportunity of some kind, as I was sharing, let's say you want a cybersecurity practice in X location, then these all policy benefits comes to you, which is of various in kind, right? But if you're looking at cybersecurity practice in Bangalore, that might be a challenge because we want you to consider now as the growth engines and some of these practices there. And that's the reason that the policy benefits are aimed for that. If you're an ITS companies, the IT policy gives a lot of benefits from there. Again, focus largely on the clusters. In fact, I was just taking the numbers. In last 1 year or so, exact period, I'm not sure about it, around 30 lakh of rupees has been distributed as a benefit to the ITS companies in only one cluster called, Mangalore and Udupi.
Okay.
Right. So there is a cash flow which is going out from the department to the ITS companies on the policy benefits.
This goes on what are the ways, sir? Means is it for a capex or for some portion of incentive reimbursement? What are the ways?
So it goes for all kinds. For example, ITIS services can get benefits from the rental reimbursements. They have taken a space. There's a cap for that, but you can take some extent of that.
Sure.
Electricity you consume, you can put a sum meter there. You can then put up the bills and you can reimburse that electricity consumption as well. Right. Employees Provident Fund is paid by the part of the employer's contribution is paid by the government for 2 years or so for some number of employees that we can give to you. Right.
Sure.
So, and there are many other benefits which are available for the skill, programs that you're doing it, internship programs that you're running it, apprenticeship programs that you're running it. So, all of those many benefits are there of those kinds. We keep on doing this policy awareness workshops.
Sure.
So if anybody interested to understand how can be done more, happy to do that. But the GCCs in Bangalore can also look into larger benefits.
Okay.
Which I think I want to share this to the larger audiences. If you're looking at setting up a center of excellence for your own purpose, but also opening the gate for the larger startup and entrepreneur ecosystem to leverage a center of excellence, then I think the GCC policy comes in play even for Bangalore.
Okay.
Right. So if you're setting up a center of excellence in Bangalore, let's say it could be on XYZ, stuff, and then you're opening it for other startups to join into this carve of innovations, capex to some extent, and it can go a big number as well. It can go more than 2 million USD.
Fantastic.
Of that level of benefits are available from the policy perspective.
So they get a fiscal benefit as well as they can work with the startup.
Yes.
I think it's a best of both worlds.
Yes.
Best of us.
Absolutely.
Great. So moving on, Kannada is doing phenomenal job, but I was also getting a call from one state investment promotion council, right, saying that, hey, we are really keen looking for establishing GCCs in our state. Could you recommend few people, right? It's a healthy. I think as an Indian, I'm happy, right? So, but it's a healthy competition, right? I think. But how do you see the competition and where Karnataka really stands, right, against the upcoming states, right? Yeah.
First of all, I think this is a media question, from the perspective of this. But let me give you a very nice perspective on how I see this lens. I see this lens as an India brand first. I think the GCCs are looking at India and then they've defined where they want to go on based on their criteria of, as I said, the ecosystems and talent and many other benefits that they get into. We need to position the India brand first. Today, mid-market GCCs is going to be a very important element, right? And in the mid-markets, the geography will change from US to some other geographies in the world. How are we designing the strategy to cater or attract that mid-market GCCs to come to India? We have preparing ourselves for that, right? I would request states to look at it. See, define in terms of what type of mid-market GCCs related to your strength of that ecosystem within your own state can be looked into. So for me, it's not a competition. The second piece is, from a lens of looking at it, the GCC's maturity curve has reached to such a stage, right, that today Karnataka stands for 40 years of experience of GCC operations. So it's not an on and off switch when I can say today I want to become a destination of GCCs. It's not an on-off switch. You require to have patience. So I would request my colleagues in various parts of the country is that keep on working. Keep on working. You will find some good GCCs to your strength of domains will come in. But you should also target not a deep tech GCCs right now. Because if you go there, you will be struggling with that, right? And fortunately, Karnataka has an edge on that part because the highest quality of the talent on deep tech from around the country and around the world comes here.
Right.
First.
Right.
So we have the second largest AI talent base here, India's largest, and one of the second largest or third largest in the country, in the world, of AI talent base in India. So my humble request is that, look at the new markets, look at the new spaces, look at your own strengths, make India brand much more popular than the one, and based on your strength, you will attract right GCCs to your location. Karnataka is aiming for defining the new maturity curve of the GCCs, and we will be taking up 50% market share of the GCCs of India for sure.
So which is your competition, or what makes you, I think at the midnight, what makes you toy?
When a company decides to go to Vietnam or Malaysia, I said, why?
Okay. And
Why
I don't know
is
why
not-
they do that.
They might find it something very interesting piece, and I want to find out the reasons for it. Right?
Okay.
So that gives me a so to say nightmare as well in terms of why it is not happening in Karnataka. Right. The second piece is that how do I make sure that some of these companies that you're talking about of IP stuff, can look into IPs in India. Right.
Sure.
So, I'm not looking at the low-hanging fruits of jobs alone here, which is important for all of us in the country, but also quality work which is required to be delivered from here. So that makes me understand that what is a new initiative that I can work with, help the industry or GCCs to file IPs here and look at it. How can remove those challenges if there's any within the state, if outside state, how can I advocate for them to the federal government, to the union government to say, please look at the GCC issue and resolve those issues.
Like, for example, say transfer pricing is one of the concerns which a lot of GCC leaders mention. I think obviously it's not in our control. It's primarily even the...
We advocate this too whenever we go to, whenever our minister meets the finance minister or anybody else, he's very, very passionate to take up these issues of the GCCs upfront with the leadership there. And we also, when we meet to secretaries and others, we put up these positions here that my industry people are facing this problem. Please clarify this, right? In fintech, we are the largest. We got 10 more unicorns in the fintech space from Karnataka. There are many issues that we need to take up with the regulatory bodies in the finance part and fintech side. We represent those cases to the regulators and say, please solve those issues for us, for our startup, for our ecosystem players, and etc.
Definitely. So, I was talking to one of my friend. He's having a GCC from a company headquartered in Madrid, and he was telling that the government is giving 40% subsidy on salaries of people. Even then, he's not able to find people in that in Madrid, right? So the similar way, when I was talking to other friend from Middle East, they specifically want to recruit people of product managers, right? Especially you mentioned fintech. Now Dubai or the Middle East wants to get into the fintech a lot, and they want to hire the product managers from in India. So they want to hire say 5-10 people, not a large set of GCC. It is a micro nano GCC, right? So but what he is saying is like, hey, how can I go about do it? Is there any way who will facilitate? So is there any where if someone wants to come and establish micro, how can KDEM can help?
So we have KDEM is the first organization for all those organizations which are looking at, we concept first time even in India, the policy has comes out and says that nano GCC concept. And that nano GCC concept is that even the smaller operations, we will respect your view on it, but we support you entirely. So if we have from the KDEM, and there's an organization called Catalyst.
Yeah. Okay.
So KDEM and Catalyst will handhold you to set up your nano GCC anywhere that you want, in any space or the domains that you want, and the talent that you require for that. But having said this, there's an opportunity also for companies like Shankar, you might have another business set up for you, is to say that train your people here, give them services in the world. Right. And we help you with that process as well under the Nipuna scheme or another scheme or Department of Skill Development called as International Migration Center, IMC, that is recognized by Ministry of External Affairs and Government of India. And you have a demand in, let's say, Middle East of 5 or 10 product managers. You train them and give it to them through this process.
Okay.
And it's all legal, everything is done.
It's a single window clearance.
It's a single window, clearances and support, both.
Okay.
Right. So use that.
Okay. Phenomenal insights. Great, sir. So I think there is a recent rant from the US president about, hey, don't hire in India, hire from US, right? I think especially the government funded sponsored companies. Do you see that this is going to impact the GCC hiring in a big way? What are your thoughts?
Can you stop the water to flow where the natural flow is there? You cannot.
You cannot. Okay.
You can create barriers as much as you want. The water will find its own way.
Sure.
In my view, the requirement of the talent and where the talent is, right, they will meet each other, irrespective of whatever barriers can come up from anywhere. Presently, I don't see that, and I don't foresee that will coming in place. Right, there will be ways and means where the talent will find a way, and the talent seekers will be find a ways to reach out to the talent as well, and we become a positive catalyst on that. I believe in that, and we'll follow that.
Got it. I think, I have so many questions to keep on asking about, I understand you are also positive of time, but probably last a few questions. You have...
I thought it's done with you right now.
No,
okay.
Probably a couple of more questions. I think you have so much of knowledge, and thanks to, being in Karnataka, leading the state's digital economy mission I'm sure you will be contributing to the other state, not looking at it as a competition, but, you'll be sharing it, right? So what are your thoughts to other people who are trying to do something similar in their states related to GCCs and other things?
I think I said this right. A lot of other state people do come and talk to us and understand that, what we're doing here. We share whatever we can share. We definitely share openly with them. And they try to leverage that knowledge and experiences to their framework and their way of operating. Every state has its own uniqueness to operate upon. But what I see is that instead of looking at, hey, I want to create another Bangalore, create your own city, right?
Sure.
Based on what you are, right? So find out your own aspirations, your own strengths, figure out your own clients that you want to attract them, and work towards that, right? Start from India, pick up your own strengths, and reach out to the right clients for you. I think that will help you to get the GCC business model. So I know I'm talking to management jargon, not a real answer here, but that's a philosophy on which it will work, right? Uh, Creating a Bangalore will take you another 25 years.
Got it.
Create yourself, which might take 3-4 years. I think that's a much easier way to do it.
Sure. Like, for example, I see that the Hyderabad is coming with a lot of pharmaceutical GCCs, and probably the Pune, Mumbai is coming with a lot of BFSI GCCs. Like, is that the way you're looking at, or if it is a completely emerging hub, right, which is not even attached to a large city, right? How can they really go about it?
That's right. So you figure it out those steps. For example, let's say if you have accounting and finance professionals working there a lot, or a supply is a little bit more, right? See if you can reach out to the, some of those banking operations to say how can small operations of banking and finance can be operated from that place, right?
Sure.
That's really my one advice. But I need more advice from a lot of people also, right? How do I grow my 50% market share in Karnataka's, in the GCC landscape? So instead of me giving advice, I would love to take advice from so many other people around the leadership.
So you become from technocrat, you become a great salesman.
Yeah, no, I need advisors. So I might not have 100% answers. So I'm looking for some of the great leaders who can be, Sanjeev, you should do this way now, because that way you will help me to reach to 50% market share. Love to do that.
Definitely, definitely. It was fantastic talking to you, Sanjeev, and thanks a lot for your time and for sharing the valuable insight. I'm sure, like me, my audience and the larger audience, they would have enjoyed.
I hope so. I hope so. We had a very candid discussion. Shankar, if and an audience, if my answers were there, and I would love to interact with you as and when possible from our side. But it was lovely chatting with you, Shankar. You are an energetic person. You thrive the questions in such a way that we get answers up to date. So lovely to chat with you.
Thanks a lot, Sanjeev. Probably the last thing is,
Yeah.
if people want to be in touch with you, can they be in touch with Twitter, LinkedIn, which is a
LinkedIn is the best option to do it, right?
okay.
I'm not KDEM is on Twitter,
Okay,
right? But personally, I'm not so active on Twitter.
sure.
But personally, I'm very active, and the KDEM is also very active on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
So LinkedIn is the best way to connect with us. Happy to connect with anybody who is interested to know more, touch base with us, meet us. Absolutely do that. Karnataka के बारे में आपको मैं 2 लाइन सुनाता हूँ.
Oh, please.
Okay, before we
Hope
sign off.
I understand it properly.
Yeah, I'll translate this into English as well for you, right? But it's a Hindi and Urdu word, and these are my 2 favorite lines. Beautiful lines, which goes for. So 40 years back, this statement was challenged, and how Karnataka answered that, right? In a way. So it's like, quote unquote, like this is, सवाल जहर का नहीं था, वो तो मैं पी गया. It was not a question of a poison, I drank it.
Okay.
सवाल जहर का नहीं था, वो तो मैं पी गया.
Okay.
तकलीफ लोगों को तब हुई जब मैं जी गया. People were worried when I was alive. So I know how to fight it out. I know how to go up, how to grow up, right?
Okay.
So that's the meaning of that 2 lines. Karnataka stands for those lines. Give us any challenges, we'll take our challenges, we stand up and show the success out of the challenges. And then people will question us, how can you be successful? And we show the path. This is how the secret sauce is.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Inspirational.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.